Now, as the patient is completely in the lying position since many days or months, once you want to make the patient prepare for gait or for walking, you will require some pre-gait training. In that, we have learned about the strengthening of the muscles. Now, when you want to make the patient upright, it is not suddenly that from the days or months the patient is in the lying position, suddenly you cannot put the patient in the standing position, because your venous return will reduce and the patient might end up into the giddiness also. So for that you require certain thing which gives a gradual standing up position. So suppose the patient is lying, so you have to gradually increase the angle of upright, and then you are going to give a complete 90 degree. For that you have a plinth called as tilt table. This is a tilt table. See the whole thing. Okay. So here this is the tilt table. These are the footrest. So you are going to make the patient lie over this. The head is going to be on this side and the leg is on this side. There are going to be straps which you are going to tie it up, and by tying the straps, gradually you are going to change the angle of inclination, and this tilt table is going to get up to certain degrees. Initially you are going to give 15, 30, 45 degree up, 60 degree up, and then gradually the 90 degree up. So gradually when you are going to increase this upright, gradually the patient's feet are going to learn about taking the weight onto it, and the body system is also going to get accustomed. The venous return is not going to suddenly fall down, and the patient will come to the upright position very stably. So this is also one of the agents to be used in pre-gait training. Now let's learn about gait training in the parallel bar. As we have already discussed that what should be the pre-gait training. Okay, pre-gait training we have discussed that you need to strengthen the muscles which are responsible for walking or gait, and typically those muscles which are used more to propel forward with the use of walking aids. Okay, so we are going to give that pre-gait training before we are going to take the patient for gait training in the parallel bar. So this is the precursor phase for giving the gait training with the walking aids. Okay, because this parallel bar is going to give more of the security to the patient, and let's learn first that how we are going to train the patient to walk into the parallel bar. So first and foremost thing, the patient, as we have learned into the pre-gait training, that gradually the patient who is constantly in the lying position, gradually we have used the tilt table and we have made the patient erect and prepared the patient to take weight onto the limbs. Okay, whatever may be the reason, that is the neurological or musculoskeletal problem which the patient is facing. Then the next step comes is after the pre-gait training and muscular strengthening is walking into the parallel bar. So we are going to take the patient into the wheelchair near to the parallel bar at the one end of the parallel bar. Now as the patient is sitting into the wheelchair, we are going to apply the brakes. So we have locked the chair. These are the brakes. So by locking the chair, we are not allowing the chair to move whenever the patient is going to transfer the weight. Now the second step here is removing the footrest. So here you can see these are the footrest. So we are going to ask the patient to put the foot down and removal of the footrest. And we are going to ask the patient to shift a little bit forward, putting both the feet inside the starting of the parallel bar and having both the hands over the parallel bars. This is the primary position, and we are encouraging the patient that with this position now the next step is you are going to stand up into the parallel bar. So before going further standing up into the parallel bar, we are going to make sure that whether suppose the left lower extremity is affected one. So we are going to make it sure that whether it is allowed to take complete weight, non-weight bearing onto the affected limb, or partial weight bearing on the affected limb, or complete full weight bearing on the affected limb. Depending on to that, we are going to either allow the patient to put complete weight onto that extremity, or we are going to give partial weight bearing. That means only the forefoot is going to touch the ground, and or else this limb is going to be off the surface. Only this limb is supporting the floor, and this limb is not going to support the floor. Okay, so this we are going to make it sure before we are making the patient now stand. We have prepared the patient and encourage the patient to stand up from the wheelchair. Now the position of the therapist is going to stand beside the patient, and the therapist is going to support the forefoot of the patient with the foot of the therapist, and the knee of the therapist is going to support the knee of the same leg of the patient, and then I am going to put my one hand over the axilla, another hand in the sacrum, and then I am going to ask the patient to pull with both the hands to get up into the standing. So this is how I am going to help the patient to come to the standing position. So now, as we made the patient stand inside the parallel bar from the wheelchair, the next step here is to train the balance of the patient. Because before walking, we need the balance to be okay for transferring the weight either from the affected limb, if affected limb is non-weight bearing, then through the hands to the parallel bar, and then onwards to the walking aids. So for that, for the balance, initially we are going to ask the patient, as you can see, the left limb here is partial weight bearing, right? And the patient is standing. So the patient is taking weight from both the hands, okay, to maintain the balance. Gradually I am going to ask the patient with the supervision. I am also here for the supervision. I am going to ask the patient to reduce the transferred weight on both the limbs. So gradually the patient, as they have grasped the whole hand, they are going to lighten the support. Only fingers are there to support, and light weight is taken on the parallel bars, and more weight is taken from the sound extremity. Okay. So this is how we are going to ask the patient to reduce the hand support. We can even ask the patient to take the hand support only with one hand, and the other hand is not taking weight onto the surface. Gradually we can ask the patient to remove both the hands, taking just the weight onto the sound limb and partial weight onto the affected limb. Okay. So this is how we are going to train the static balance here. Now the exercises for improving the balance here is the rhythmic stabilization. We can give rhythmic stabilization to the shoulder girdle and the pelvic girdle. So let's see first for the shoulder girdle. For the shoulder girdle, I am going to ask the patient to oppose my force. So as if here I am pushing the shoulders back and the patient is pushing the shoulder girdle front. See, push, 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 relax. Now I am going to ask the patient to push it back, push, 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 relax. Again push it back, push, 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 relax. Push it back, push, 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 relax. Again the front, push, push, push and relax. Again push it and relax. So this is the alternatively recruiting the front side of the shoulder girdle muscles and back side of the shoulder girdle muscles. Same way for the pelvis, we are going to ask the patient, relaxing the hands. We are going to ask the patient to push the pelvis front. Push it front, 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 relax. Push it front, 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 relax. Here my force is back side. Push it front, 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 relax. Now push your pelvis back, 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 relax. Push your pelvis back, 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 relax. Push your pelvis back, 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 relax. Alternatively again, push it front, 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 relax. Push it front, 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 relax. Push it front and relax. So this is how alternatively we are recruiting the muscles of the shoulder and pelvis girdle front and back. This is called as rhythmic stabilization. Now let's train the patient for gait training inside the parallel bar, as the patient will be able to do the swing to and swing through patterns with non-weight bearing, with partial weight bearing inside the parallel bar, and then we can take the patient to walk the same way using the walking gait outside the parallel bar. So inside the parallel bar, the same way as we have learned into the gait training with the walking aid, swing 2. So for that, the patient's left limb is non-weight bearing. Patient, when standing with the hands beside the body, patient is going to transfer the hands first forward here, and then going to take or transfer the weight to the upper extremity and going to jump to the line of the hand, not crossing the line of the hand. So this is swing 2. Now going for swing through, come back side. Now going for the swing through, extremity is non-weight bearing. Shifting the hands front, taking the weight from the upper extremity and jumping beyond the line of the hands. So this is swing through, crossing the line of the upper extremity weight bearing. Okay, this was for non-weight bearing. Now let's see for the partial weight bearing. Now in the partial weight bearing, see the left limb, the forefoot is only touching the ground, that is the partial weight bearing. Again here, the hands are by the side of the body. First the patient is going to transfer the hands forward onto the parallel bar, then transferring the partial weight bearing foot front, and then taking the weight onto both the hands and the partial weight bearing foot, going in the line with both the hands and the partial weight bearing foot. This is swing 2. Now going for the swing through, the hand side of the body and the left limb partial weight bearing. First transferring both the weights front, then taking this limb in the front, the partial weight bearing limb, and then taking the normal limb beyond the line of the upper extremity weight bearing, crossing that line, going for the swing through. Now as we have learned about the balance exercises inside the parallel bar, let's see about the limbs exercises. Now as the balance has been improved, we can go for the affected extremity lower limb movements inside the parallel bar, that is the flexion, extension of the hip, abduction of the hip and adduction. Okay, and flexion of hip and knee together, down the extension, and moving the ankle, dorsi and plantar flexion. Okay, so such way all the limb movements of the affected side we can perform inside the parallel bar, and then moving the upper extremities inside the parallel bar forward and backward, right, coming back, going for abduction, okay, elbow flexion and extension. So all the forward, backward and sideways movement of the shoulder, elbow and wrist and hand we can perform inside the parallel bar. Now if the patient is able to take weight on both the extremities, and if the patient is allowed for the full weight bearing, we can train the patient to take from partial weight bearing to the full weight bearing for the weight transfers. So for that, a wide base of support we are going to ask the patient to take. Yes, with this wide base of support we are going to ask the patient to transfer the weight side to side. See, now this was the affected side, left side. So patient is transferring the weight gradually onto the affected side, coming back onto the non-affected side, relieving the pressure, then again transferring the weight sideways. So this is side to side weight transfer with the stride standing, that is wide base of support. And as we can go for a walk standing position, taking one foot forward, one foot backward, we are going to ask the patient to transfer the weight front, transfer the weight back, transfer the weight front, transfer the weight back side. This is front and back transfer of the weight. So these are the exercises we can train for taking the patient from partial weight bearing to the full weight bearing.